We are so back, baby. We are so back. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. It has been a while. I feel like I have really taken a break from content, and it's because I was awaiting a big purchase, which is my DJI Osmo Pocket 3. We are live. We are in session. We are focused. We are upping the content game, and I'm ready to supply you all with the reading vlogs, the bookish content, the bookish adventures, the reading wrap-ups, all of the things. It's just going to be so exciting. And I think I'm going to start us off with the weekly reading vlog. There are two books that I'm trying to get through this week. Yesteryear, which I started maybe 2 days ago. I'm less than 100 pages in, and The Poet's Empress. Both for book clubs, two separate book clubs that are happening next week. But I feel like those are both very good books to go on this journey with me. Yesteryear is everywhere. Everyone is talking about it. If you haven't heard about it, I will give you all that you need to know, especially as I read. Today's Sunday. I think we have a good week ahead of us. It is May 17th. I have already finished 7 books this month, which is crazy because a lot of them I was in the middle of from April. So let's be so freaking real. I did not read full 7 books this month. I finished 7 books this month, but a lot of them were books that I was in the middle of throughout April, and I just didn't get the time to finish. I was able to kind of bang them out throughout the beginning of May, and now I'm up to my book club books, so that's where we're going to start. I'm now going to relax, wind down. It is Sunday night. We have a work week ahead of us. Probably going to wash my face, take a shower, figure out what we're doing for dinner, do some Sunday night chores. I can't wait to read along with you this week, so let's get into it. Get your snack, get your cozy drink, get your heated blanket. Maybe not today. Right now in New York on Sunday, it's 90 degrees, which is wild. So maybe you don't need the heated blanket, but definitely get the snack and the drink and get cozy because we're getting into it. It is now about 9:30. I've eaten dinner. We have cleaned all the things, thrown out the garbage, done all of the household stuff. I'm going to wash my face. And while I do that, I wanted to catch you up on the background story of Yesteryear, which is what I'm reading. So Yesteryear is getting a lot of buzz right now because it's this trad wife influencer story. It came out in April, and it's by Caro Burke. The story follows our main character who considers herself a trad wife influencer, which stands for traditional wife. The term trad wife is something I'm still trying to, wrap my head around. From what I'm understanding, trad wife means creating this traditional life where you are this person who is being a mom, killing it at motherhood, killing it at womanhood, doing all the things, surviving for your child, and then also creating and curating this life for yourself. So that is what our main character is thriving at in her life that she has curated, where she lives on a farm called Yesteryear Ranch. So we're following 2 timelines. It's not a spoiler, but our main character, her present day timeline is 5 kids, currently pregnant, married to Caleb, who she met in college, who is this wealthy son of a politician, all of this. And then she curates this life where she lives on a farm, has a very organic and natural lifestyle, is creating that for her children, uber Christian, just all the things. And then she wakes up one day and she's placed back into the 1800s, this pioneer lifestyle where she's actually having to do all of the things that she talks about, but on another scale, because there's no electricity and things are going, at a different lifestyle pace. So it's interesting so far. I'm only 80 pages in. So I'm waiting for us to gather more information. I think that the end of the book has created a lot of buzz as to whether or not people like it, because I think that there's a really surprise ending. It's a book club pick, so I'm excited. It's a book club pick that my book club normally wouldn't go for. We're usually historical fiction or romance or literary fiction, and this one is literary fiction satire. So I'm excited because the last time we read something along these lines was Love Letters to a Serial Killer, and that was one of my favorite discussions that we've had. So A.A. Knob sent me this book before it was published, but I just didn't get a chance to read it. But I will now. I'm really excited. I think that it's the type of book I like to read, which not horror Horror is definitely my type of book that I like to read, but it's like, this is kind of satire, literary fiction satire, and that's like my shit. So yeah, I'm going to wash this off, get cozy on my couch, make some tea. Okay, we are here. We are winding down. We have our cup of tea. We're ready. We're ready for the evening read. The back says, my name was Natalie Heller Mills, and I was perfect at being alive. A traditional American woman, a beautiful wife and mother who sells her pioneer lifestyle of raw milk and farm fresh eggs to her millions of social media followers, suddenly awakes cold, filthy, and terrified in the brutal reality of 1805, where she must unravel whether this living nightmare is an elaborate hoax, a twisted reality show, or something far more sinister. And I am currently 91 pages in. I'm going to read for a bit tonight before I get sleepy, which might be relatively soon, and then I'll catch up with you guys about it tomorrow. Good morning. It is Monday, May 18th. We are here with our book. I read up to like 135 pages last night. You know, more or less the same stuff happening. Nothing really new to report. There are a lot of moments where I'm like, oh, she is so unlikable. Like, I love it. I love an unlikable, unhinged FMC. That's just like what I love about Weird Girl Lit. I just love an unlikable FMC, and I will until the day that I stop reading, which will be never. I have nothing really new to update besides the fact that I'm reading and seeing a lot about Yesteryear on Bookstagram. Like, so many thoughts about like whether or not it was done correctly. Like, there's this huge religious component that I haven't really touched on about like her being a Christian white woman in the South and the privilege in that, and like internalized misogyny within the community. And I have started like annotating a little bit as I've been reading with some tabs, just because I feel like there are some points where you kind of hear her come to grips with like what her reality will be like now as she is becoming a mom. And, you know, the two timelines, one is her obviously being thrown into this pioneer woman time, and then the other timeline being her in college, meeting Caleb, her husband, becoming pregnant, all of these things. And I think it's really interesting as she comes to this realization that she like said yes to all of these things and becoming this woman with Caleb in this marriage because she thought that's like what others would like be jealous of. It sounds like a lot of her decisions were fueled by like what she thought others would perceive of these decisions, and not really in line with like what she envisioned for herself or what her parents envisioned for her, which is very interesting. But yeah, there's a lot to unpack in Yesteryear right now. I'm only at 35%, so I think I will have a lot more to say as I continue to go. But yeah, today is Monday. I'm having some breakfast and then I have to get into some sessions, and my day finishes around 5, and it's so hot today. It's like almost 85 degrees in New York, which is insane. (7:41 p.m.) I was able to read a little. I started doing an immersive read and listening to the audiobook while I'm reading, just to really lock in. You know, it is getting pretty good. I feel like the societal component is really starting to come into play. Now, like, we're having the father-in-law kind of like take the reins and be like this symbolism of patriarchy. I'm intrigued, but I popped on here to show you some packages that I got since you and I have last spoke. First one that I'm going to show you is from Zibby, so let me get it so we can talk. So this first package is of 40 Love by Jane Costello. It is a sports romance that releases on Tuesday, May 19th. I'm going on vacation next month, so I'm so excited that this was in there, but it is the Vacation Classic Spray Broad Spectrum SPF 50 sunscreen. And this just looks like it smells amazing. So this was in there. There was also these little cute Simply Sour citrus berries. They are, and I heard sour candy is supposed to help with like anxiety and flight anxiety, which I had never heard before. And as a therapist, when my client told me that, I was like, am I supposed to know that? Yeah, I will also pack these, put it to the test and see if it works. We also got this Ball Boy air refreshener by Vacation. We have the book, 40 Love by Jane Costello. They also included an Octo Buddy, which I don't know if you've seen these. My friend Steph had to explain to me what they are, but you basically peel off the back and stick it to the back of your phone, and then all of these silicone little suction cups stick to surfaces when you want to record, and it's easy to stick and then peel off of walls, mirrors, whatever. So I will take this on vacation so that I can record, of course. But I thought that was a really cute gift. Jane Costello is also the author of It's Getting Hot in Here. But we have 40 Love, which comes out tomorrow, and it is an uplifting tennis rom-com that brims with optimism, found friendship, and a swoon-worthy second chance romance. Thank you, Zibby, for sending this to me. It is very adorable, and I can't wait to read. The next package that I got is adorable. It is for the book coming out by Lindsay McMillan called The Anti-Marriage Pact. It's about 4 friends who live in Brooklyn who make a pact to never get married. They want to be single and celebrate life, frolicking around Brooklyn for their eternity. The pact is set in stone until one by one they start meeting people and falling in love. And then our main character, EJ, also begins to fall in love. It is described as a wickedly funny and brutally honest exploration of modern feminism, female friendship, and the courage it takes to rewrite the rules of your own life. Very cute. Comes out on June 2nd from Harper Muse. And Booksparks sent this adorable little bookmark with a little tassel, cutie pie, and solo date night ideas so that you can make a little drinky drink, my kind of mocktail. Just so cute. What a cute idea. I'm obsessed. Thank you so much to Booksparks for sending this to me. I cannot wait to read. We love a modern feminist book. Hello. It is 10 p.m. now, almost. It was off today, and usually on my day offs, I think that I have like all of the time in the world to do all of the things that I want to do, but truly today went by so quickly. This morning I did a reel, rushed to the dentist, and then I went to pick some stuff up for my mom. Today we were celebrating my dad's birthday, so we had some religious like celebrations. Now I'm home and it's nighttime, and my reading update is that I'm halfway through Yesteryear. She is convinced that this is a setup, but she doesn't understand what it is yet. So that's not a spoiler because she's at the point where she thinks it's a reality show. But TBD, we don't know. Like, there's no factual evidence to back that up yet. So I'm continually intrigued. I'm 50% through, which was my goal for today. I am going into the city tomorrow. There are some book events that I'm going to, which I'm really excited to share with you. So I'm going to take this with me and read on the train. That is my goal. I'm now going to wind down, get ready for bed, read a little bit before I start my day tomorrow. I think I have sessions from like 8 to 2, and then I'm going to hop on the train and head into the city and take you along for that journey. Hello, I am back, going from one event to the next. I went to this Zibby event celebrating 40 Love, which is the book that I was talking about. It is a tennis sports romance that came out on Tuesday. Very cute. The event was at a tennis sports store with like really cute tennis apparel. It was very adorable. And now I'm heading to the Hachette offices for a community hour that is being hosted by Amanda's Book Club, and I'm really excited because there's like crafts and a book swap. We are making a little lunch because today truly flew by. I started off my day so super slow and cute and had this nice slow rainy morning. I got caught up in my book and I had to go run an errand and shit just really like sped up from there. And now it's almost 6 p.m. and I'm starving, but we're gonna eat out for dinner, but that's not gonna be until later, so I just need something to hold me over, okay? So I'm making a little bit of tuna salad, my hyper fixation snack, as the kids say. But while I'm doing that, I have to talk to you about Yesteryear. I was deciding whether or not to make this vlog spoiler free. I haven't really done like a spoiler filled reading review, now that I'm thinking about it, ever. So I'm thinking I'm going to be a little spoilery here. So if you haven't read Yesteryear yet, please pop off here and I will indicate in the description box below where you can pop back on. Spoilers ahead for Yesteryear. I'm about 85% in. I'm really annoyed that I had to stop where I did because it was such a pivotal point of the story. So we just found out that Shannon has been sleeping with the husband, Caleb. She's agreed to do press and she got like this big nightly news slot. Shannon creating this whole scheme of like turning Natalie's ranch against her and talking to the workers and the nannies and her husband. And like there's a lot of like eye-opening that's happening. I'm wondering how much of Shannon's involvement has to do with what's going on in like pre-colonial Natalie's life. I am at the point in pre-colonial Natalie's life where she is running away because Maeve is sick and she's using that as an excuse to find a doctor. And she discovered the manosphere, which, like, that seems like it could have been named better. Like the manosphere seems so wild of a name. I don't know what's in there yet. It's literally where I am is where she discovered it. I don't want to get excited about where this is going to end up because I want to make sure that we're going where I think we're going. And I also thought, adding a little bit of QP mayo to my tuna salad, I also thought that we were going to get to a place where like Natalie did kill Shannon and I was going to be like, yes, like this is what we're doing. Natalie is... Not that I like Natalie. Obviously, the point is to not like Natalie and everything that she stands for. But, like, I sometimes love murder in a book, as we all do. And I wanted to see, like, Natalie get out of a situation that she didn't have full control in. Because, obviously, if she was to kill Shannon, like, things would have gone awry. Like, something would have had to happen. And she didn't kill Shannon, unfortunately. So... Shannon is now on Dateline. I'm going to let you know what I think of what happens next, but I don't know. I'm like trying to think about like what is going to come next, and I'm thinking at first, now I know it's not going to go this way, but at first when I found out that Shannon was leaving with Caleb, I was like, oh, Shannon constructed this all to create this like alternate reality for Natalie. But now I know that Shannon has left the ranch and she's not with Caleb and blah, blah, blah. So like I know that's not the answer. But I still think that Shannon is behind. But then there was this weird thing between Clementine and Mary, where Mary from 1800s heard Natalie say Clementine's name, and Mary was like, what'd you say? And I thought that was interesting that she had such a strong reaction to hearing Clementine's name. And I feel like Mary shares a lot of the characteristics that are similar to Clementine. So I wonder what the parallel is between the two of them. If there is like some kind of time warp thing and we're actually not in a reality show as you know, Natalie kind of thinks we are. So I've been rambling for almost 5 minutes now. So I will eat my snack with my seaweed and read the rest of the book and then come back to you. TBD. Also, not me recording that whole thing and then realizing I didn't even turn my mic on. Tell me you just got an Osmo Pocket 3 without realizing how to freaking use it. So sorry about that, guys. It's a work in progress. I hope you still heard what I said, clean and clear. And now I'm actually going to eat my snack and read my book. Bye. What a week it's been. What a week. It is Friday. Can you believe we made it to Friday? I feel like this week has been such a whirlwind. There is just so much happening, and it was a busy week work-wise. I am working until 5 today, but I had a bit of time and I want to open some book mail that I got with you. I also finished Our Girl last night. I think you saw me in the depths of this. I finished Our Girl Yesteryear. And there are so many thoughts that I have about it, to be honest, and they're not all positive. There is a lot of buzz around this, and I think that, like, as a society, we have to really reflect on why is there so much buzz around this. Like, yeah, I just have a lot of thoughts around it, and I don't have time to unpack this right now, but I will unpack it with you when I'm not a therapist in between these little vlogs, and I can kind of like compartmentalize that piece of me, because there is like a piece of this that is related to mental health, and I think that's a piece that I want to talk about freely. But I will. In the meantime, I do have capacity to open up these packages, so let's do that. Easy Discipline, An Unconventional Way to Achieve Ambitious Things by Jia Jiang, and this comes out in July of 2026. This is from Simon Elemental Readers, their nonfiction imprint from Simon & Schuster. Let me read you what this book is about. It's a guide to achieving your goals, the easy way for anyone who struggles with distraction and procrastination. Most people think that because great achievements are difficult, they must also feel difficult, but great accomplishments are rarely achieved through mental toughness. Rather, the most successful people find a way to make hard actions feel easy. Drawing on stories from his battles with ADHD and procrastination, as well as 12 epic stories from history and pop culture, Jiang outlines 4 principles of easy discipline: enjoyment, artistry, systems, and yourself. So you can take hard actions on a consistent basis, love yourself in the process, and achieve life-changing results. I did pick this, and I think it's because I was thinking of all of my clients who struggle with the overlap of anxiety and ADHD, and sometimes it's hard to formulate clear steps as to how to navigate that overlap because it's so different and personalized for each client. So I thought this would be a nice kind of like guide for them and me as well to kind of figure out, like, is this system feasible for people who are looking to make structural changes into their routine in order to hold themselves accountable. Simon Element knew that this was on my mind and in my clients' minds, so I picked this and they sent it to me, and thank you for that. And then I have one more package that I got. How to Lose Yourself Completely by Peter Bognanni. Ever since John's death, Case's anxiety has been spiraling. Sean wasn't just his older brother, he was also Case's best friend, the only person who really got him. When his parents suggested venture therapy, Case is desperate enough to agree. Maybe roughing it in the woods with a group of anxious strangers will help him find a way forward. After he boards the bus, however, he sees the one person he's been trying to avoid, Diana, Sean's girlfriend. Once they set off, there is expected cringy singing and forced sharing, but when their counselor mysteriously disappears, the trip suddenly turns into a journey of survival. From the award-winning Peter Bognanni comes a profound, surprising, and hopeful novel about grief and love. There's so much about grief and like the journey of grief for children, specifically teenagers, that I don't really know is always spoken about, and like parents don't always feel equipped to handle, so I'm glad that I have my hands on this book. I'm going to read it, and I can't wait to share my thoughts about it. Before we can talk about this book, we have to talk about this book. I finished Yesteryear on Thursday. Yesterday, I had quite the bit of sessions, and I didn't feel like I had the capacity to talk about Yesteryear. But here on a rainy Saturday, I feel like I do. I'm going to try to keep it spoiler-free just because I have a lot of thoughts about this, and I am not the type of person where when I close a book, I can just like jump into writing my review on Goodreads or writing a caption for Bookstagram. I think that I really have to sit with this for certain books, specifically this one, because there are so many different aspects to it and so many layers of social commentary. As I've said before, we're following Natalie, who's our main character, who is a trad wife by trade and is a social media influencer pushing this lifestyle that we soon come to find out she isn't wholeheartedly following. Have this dual POV and dual timeline between Natalie of present day, who is trapped in this 1800s pioneering WTF moment. The entire story is us trying to figure out like what happened and how she got there. And we do. And it is quite a twist. I do have to give the author that it is quite a twist. I did not see what transpired being what the outcome was. And I did like that. But I do feel like there was a lot that could have been done with the commentary that was said. So there's a lot of social commentary in this book about our main character, Natalie, being a white woman who is Christian, who is privileged in some sense as she married into a wealthy family, and all of the commentary that goes along with motherhood and feeling like it's something that you have to do for an outside opinion or external opinion of what society expects of you. And I think that there are points where Natalie regrets becoming a mom and doesn't really feel wholeheartedly invested in being a mom. There are points where I'm sure every mother goes through that in life, where the undertaking of being solely responsible for another living, breathing human is a lot to wrap your mind around on a daily basis. There are so many things that could have been like explored a bit deeper with all of the 300 to almost 400 pages that we had, that maybe were just like grazed by, using our cow metaphor, when it really could have been like deeper delved into. So that's something that I like don't feel 100% satisfied with. There's also a twist at the end, outside of the one that I was speaking about, that I feel like kind of didn't cop to all that was like spoken about in regards to social commentary. Like it kind of felt like a cop-out, and I can talk more about that when there is a spoiler review, which maybe I'll do in my May wrap-up when it's not so spoiler-free. But yeah, I thought that there was like a point where like maybe she took a little bit of a cop-out. I don't know. Those are my thoughts. I would not say it's a 5-star. I loved everything leading up until the end. I do think her writing is incredible, and I would definitely read more from her, but I just felt like I closed the book and felt really unsatisfied. And for like a weird girl lit literary fiction satire, the genre that I love, to be talking about a book that had this much buzz and to close it and feel unsatisfied was pretty disappointing. So I'm not sure what I'm going to rate this, but I know it's not going to be a 5-star for me, but I am really excited to talk about it in book club because I think the group that we're going to be talking about it with loves talking about weird girl lit because it's not something that they're used to. And there will be a lot of opinions, and she will be unliked, and I love that. I'm leaning between like a 3.5. I think I would probably do a 3.5. It was still a great read. Like, I don't want to take that away from it. Like, I think it was really well written. I do see a lot of people loving this. I do see the movie being amazing. I hope that on screen we can kind of like get a little bit more of like the why. If you read the book, please slide into my DMs, comment down below, do something, tell me about your thoughts so that we can talk about it in a spoilery way. Find me on Bookstagram. Let me know what your thoughts are. And now we can get to The Poet Empress. So I'm a full 20 pages in. This book was gifted to me by Bramble, and it's such a gorgeous copy. The end papers are so beautiful. It says, "A poem of love, a spell to kill." So gorgeous. It's a book by Shen Tao. In the waning years of the Azalea dynasty, the emperor is dying, the land is consumed by famine, and poetry magic is lost to all except the powerful. Wei Yin is desperate. After the 5th death of a sibling, with her family and village on the brink of starvation, she will do anything to save those she loves, even offer herself as a concubine to the cruel, dissolute heir of the blood-glutted Azalea house. But in a twist of fate, the inner court stands on the knife edge of civil war, with Wei now at the center, as the prince's chosen. In a world where women are forbidden to read, and wielding the most powerful spell of all, a ballad of death and love. It sounds so good. People have been raving about this book. It came out in January, and 2 of my friends have read it before it was picked for my book club and said that it was devastatingly beautiful and like left them crying. So I can't wait to read it. Today's Saturday, and this book has to be spoken about by me on Tuesday for book club. So it's 400 pages. I'm challenging myself to read 100 pages a day. I now have 80 pages left today. I also got the audiobook, so I'm going to listen to that. So those are my thoughts on my 2 current reads. It has been a whirlwind, and I will continue to touch base with you about Poet Empress. It's like a pretty rainy weekend here in New York. It's Memorial Day weekend, and I thought that it was going to be sunny and nice, but it's rainy, and I am kind of excited about that because these past few weekends have been really wild and like so many social things happening. So to have a kind of chill weekend is pretty nice. So yeah, tonight is also the Knicks game and they're in the playoffs. So I'm gonna have the Knicks in the background, read my book, chill, enjoy the rain, and read the Poet Empress. Good morning. We are back. It is Monday, Memorial Day. It is finally a sunny day. There's hope. It's still misting, but I think that the sun is going to come out. I haven't really touched base with you guys these past 2-ish days because it's been raining and gloomy and the perfect weather to stay on your couch with a heated blanket and your book. And that is what I've been doing. So I'm currently reading The Poet Empress, page 130, and I can give you a little bit more of a synopsis. So we're following Wei Yin. She is from farming village. Her family is not super fortunate, so they've been having trouble like keeping food on the table and like making sure that their siblings are fed, and a few of her siblings have passed away from being malnourished. So she's at this point where she's just like desperate for something to change and like for them to find some sort of hope. And so while she's in the village, she comes across the Prince Emperor. His name is Terran, and he's like hosting tryouts. I'm going to really simplify this. He's like hosting tryouts for concubines. And if you don't know what a concubine is, welcome to the club, because I also did not know what a concubine was and I had to Google it. But we must have learned about it in school because I asked my husband and he told me what it was in 3.5 seconds. But if you don't know what it is a mistress of the olden times. So he's like hosting tryouts for concubines. He has an empress. There's a hierarchy to all of this where there's like your empress is your wife, then there's like an empress in waiting, and then there's like concubines, and she actually ends up getting chosen as a concubine, and then she ends up getting chosen every night to like be bedded by Terran, who's our emperor, except he's not like sleeping with her. He's like tortures her to the point where she needs healing, and you find out about this magic system that we're getting into, which is like healing through poetry, and they call it literomancy, reading and writing a poem, and then this poem kind of like transitions into a blessing. It is like exactly what I imagined this to be, which is like the poem being written and then it kind of like forming or transitioning into a blessing. The whole magic system is based off of these blessings and who can create them and wish them on people. And in this system, only men can do that because women aren't allowed to read and write. But our main character is learning how to read and write underground in exchange for her eunuch's like protection, and like bringing him up as she goes up into the system closer to the emperor. So it's very interesting. The magic system, I feel like I'm making it sound more convoluted than it actually is. It's really easy to understand. I'm also immersively reading it, and I got the audiobook because there are a lot of like traditional names and traditional language that I don't want to like mispronounce in my mind when I read it. So that's why I'm listening to it as well. But I'm really enjoying it. It's such a refreshing read after reading Yesteryear, because Yesteryear was just like so out of left field compared to this, and this just is really like engaging and immersive, and it's such a beautiful cover. It's Shen Tao's first book, and it reads so much not like a debut. Really well written, in my opinion. Loving it so far. I've been with you for more than a week now, but I want to continue this vlog until I finish this book, which I hope will be tomorrow. I have book club tomorrow. It is the morning, and I'm actually heading to the movies, so we're gonna go see Mandalorian and Grogu, maybe get some lunch, but I will get back to this tonight and touch base with you guys once I do. It is time. We are here. We have finished The Poet Empress. I went to book club yesterday to talk about this book, and I have a lot of thoughts. I really enjoyed it. It was unlike any fantasy I've read before. It is based in poetry magic, and it's a very interesting magic system, not like something I've read before. I really did enjoy this one. There are a lot, as you know, this word is coming, there are a lot of layers to the story, specifically because our main character goes through a lot of physical and sexual abuse. Our main male character, as well as our main character, she goes through physical abuse and mental abuse and emotional abuse, and all. There's a lot of trigger warnings here, so let's get that right off the bat. If you're going to read this book, I definitely would look up the trigger warnings and see if this is something that is in your realm. I do agree with a lot of the reviews that I'm seeing saying that this is not romance fantasy, but fantasy. There is not much romance in here, truly. It is about love and being seen, but I don't really know if there's like romance, because it's not like Phantasma or The Night and the Moth, or like there's no like lustfulness in this book. It's pretty deep, it's pretty heavy, it is like gut-wrenching at parts. I really did enjoy it. I wish I took my time with it, because I feel like by the end of it I was rushing to finish it for book club, literally reading the last chapter while I sat down at dinner with my book club. I'm that girl. If you were wondering, that's me at book club. Not with Yesteryear though, because I have book club for that tonight, and I did finish it way in advance. Go me, I know. But yeah, I think I wish I took my time with this one, because there are like so many pieces of it where you see Wei like really trying to get to the bottom of why Terran is the way that he is, and like trying to understand him on a deeper level, which isn't something that you're always able to get in a fantasy, because there's so many parts of like building a magic system and developing the characters and like, you know, explaining the magic system and all these things, that I felt like for the word count and the page count, like we did get a lot of character development and like really able to see the reasons behind why our male main character acted the way that he did towards our female main character, which wasn't forgivable, but there was like this way that Shen Tao like made the reader empathize for him in a way that I haven't really been able to like see all the time in other fantasies. So I kudos to Shen Tao. This is a debut, and it's so well written. I really enjoyed it. I would read anything else written by her. And yeah, if you're a fantasy reader and you love a great magic system and you're able to manage the triggers that come up in this book, then I would definitely recommend it. But now I'm off to book club to discuss Yesteryear with my second book club, and I will take you along with me. Good morning. We are back. It's Thursday now. I've been with you guys for about a week and a half. Before I let you go, I wanted to share with you some things that I got for my birthday. There are some bookish things, some non-bookish things, but I thought it would be a fun way to close out the vlog. It was a bigger birthday for me this year. I turned officially mid-30. I was spoiled by some of the people in my life, and I'm very grateful for all of these things. The first non-bookish thing that I got is a tripod. These are a mixture of things that I knew I wanted. A basket of goodies here from my lovely family. I got a Barnes & Noble gift card. I got 2 Barnes & Noble gift cards. Very sweet. I don't know what I will be spending them on, but I will probably be taking you guys along for the ride. I got an Anastasia skinny brow pencil, one of my favorites. I always go to this. Sometimes I like the skinny brow pencil, and sometimes I just like the regular one. But I feel like my eyebrows are getting thinner, and I've been like over darkening them. So I feel like the skinny one will allow me to have a lighter hand. So I'm glad that my sister got me this one. Let me show you this. It's really cool. Jewelry and makeup travel case from Paper Source. It has also like this cosmetic lighting situation, which I think will be really good for traveling. It's like such a big mirror. And then it has all of these like jewelry and storage components. My sister-in-law got this for me, and I believe she got it at Barnes & Noble. So it's super cute, and it's like the perfect size to add all your jewelry and also use it as a makeup like station when you're traveling. I really am excited to travel with this for my upcoming beach vacation. And then I got a Pandora ring that is not in here, but my husband got me the sun. I'll insert a picture here. The sun that goes with the moon that he got me a few years ago. It's like a celestial collection from Pandora. And then I got some skincare, body care. The first thing that my sister got me was the Centella Light cleansing oil. I'm usually using like a cleansing balm, and I wanted to get into the oils because I feel like my skin is a little bit on the drier side these days. And this is a light cleansing oil, so it's something that you can use like even if you're not wearing makeup. But I realized this moisturizer that my friend Meet Me at the Bookery got me on, because she's the best, is really like perfect for my skin. I did start using this. It is the La Roche-Posay Double Repair Face Moisturizer, the Tolerant collection. I used the matte one, and my skin did not like the matte one. I think it was like way too, like I don't need to be using a mattifying moisturizer, but my skin really loves this one and like soaks it up. So I'm enjoying this one, and I use the cleanser from this collection as well. She also got me a Hand and Stone massage gift card, so I'm definitely going to be booking a massage over the summer. This adorable Vans bag. So I asked for this because I saw it on a whim. It comes with this cute body strap. Let me put it on so you can see. It comes with this adorable crossbody strap, so you can either wear it like on the shoulder or crossbody. It's just like such a cute size, and it's a fun like little throwback to like Vans memories. I used to wear Vans all the time, and I still wear some. So I'm excited to have this. It feels just nostalgic. And then in this bag, I got a Coach Brooklyn 28. I haven't gotten a Coach bag since maybe 2005, but I was looking for something that was a little bit more elevated to go out with. So this is the Brooklyn 28. It is the perfect size. The arm shoulder strap is just like the perfect length where it is not going to be too tight on me if I'm like wearing a jacket. It's also just like big, but not too big, so I can like throw a book in here. I work from home, so like I'm not using a travel work bag, but I was looking for a bag to take with me when I like go into the city or go to book club or go to events that wasn't just like my crossbody. It is unlined, which I think a lot of people either love or hate. It has a magnetic snap closure, but it's pretty big, and I feel like there's some stretch to it, so it's going to look like really nice worn in with the leather. This was one of my bigger gifts that I'm very grateful for and really excited to use. And then the last thing I wanted to share with you is my Barnes & Noble haul. So every year since last year, I've been doing a birthday Barnes & Noble book challenge where I have like 2 or 3 minutes, and my husband sets a timer, and then we like go through the store, and however many books I pick up is what is purchased as my birthday gift. But I was trying to not pick up a lot of books, to be honest, because I have a million books, obviously. The first one that I got is The Best Worst Thing. So this is by Lauren Oakey. Her next book, Tropesick, comes out in June. But I'm going to be meeting her at an event here at a Long Island bookstore, the next chapter, and I wanted to read The Best Worst Thing before I meet her, so I picked it up, and I'm hoping to get to it in June. And then another book that I picked up was Matchmaking for Psychopaths by Tasha Coriel. This is by the author who wrote Love Letters to a Serial Killer that I read in February and loved, and this was her book prior to that. And I've had my eye on it for a while, and I really loved that book, Love Letters to a Serial Killer, so I grabbed it. The last book that I picked up was Strange Houses by Yuketsu. This book is the second book in the Strange Pictures, Strange Houses, Strange Buildings collection, and it was the only one that I was missing. I haven't read any of them, but I had to get it to complete the collection. And those were all of my birthday things, and I'm going to close this very long vlog out here. I appreciate you for reading along with me all week and listening to my yaps. If you enjoyed this, please let me know down below, because I need to know that you feel the same way if you have read the poet Empress or Yesteryear, or if you're excited to read either, please let me know that as well so we can chat more about it. And I hope you enjoyed this vlog, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.